This day 434 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you'd like to sponsor upcoming share more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please contact me directly. We very greatly appreciate it. Today we're doing some Reis Tzadik Gimel. Reis Tzadik Vav. Sif Yud to Reis Tzadik Vav. Sif Tez Zayin. Yud to Tez Zayin. So of course we're still talking about Havdalah. Yud. Okasav, the Ramah writes, that the people who pour some wine on the ground before they finish by Begofen, so the cup should not be damaged. The reason they use the meaning by Erevin, any house in which wine is not spilled like water, it doesn't have a sign of bracha. And we do this for a good simon beginning of the week. You also spill from the cup after Havdalah. We use it to extinguish the candle. And people use it to wash their eyes. Because to show that the mitzvah is precious to them. That which the Ramah writes, we spill in order that it should not be a damaged cup. Unintelligible. What does that mean? Well, the Vush says on the contrary, not to spill before being the bracha, they should in order not to make a bracha in the damaged cup. I ain't sure. They ain't moving, but that's also not understandable. The Zayin pogum, that's not considered damage. Pogum because you're slaves in metal. So they call pogum when you drink with it. For Gambal Vush Kosav, Shishbok Shemaskala bracha. The Vush also writes you should pour when you begin the bracha. But Zetamu, you said it's even more astonishing. Can so a bracha avi pogum? If there's new definition of pogum, then at the end of the bracha, this is going to be pogum. Im zenikra pogum, as if this is new definition of pogum. Furthermore, the Elcha Bizayin, God it's no greater degradation, lishboch al haaretz, to spill on the ground, achar bracha. Chasidim. I'm not sure if it's the first to do it or not to do it. Those who say that, of course not pogum unless you drank from it. This gam is language not of denigration, not a language of damage. Meaning the shim yishpoch achar bracha, you spill after bracha, ave bizayin. It's degrading. That's what you pour before the end of the bracha. Gam zetum is also astonishing. If it's degrading at the end of the bracha, there's also degrading before the end of the bracha. Yiraf. Well, then it's because of Parashat Shulchan Aruch Shalolas is Kedvar. The commentaries say not to do this, Ella, like we do. When we fill the cup for Havdalah, so we fill it over its rims. It's a little bit of pour on the ground. That's the custom of the world. Those who are upset with all of this, they wanted to cancel this pouring altogether. Because you're denigrating the beverage. It could be a little bit, it's not a problem. And I say, that's also what the Ramah really meant. And on the contrary, he improved on this. Because he's concerned degrading the beverage. He also didn't want to negate the minhag altogether. That's why he had this suggestion. By the that which he wrote to spill from the cup, doesn't mean to deliberately pour with your hand. The Rayal is the evidence of this is shlokas abishmok minakos. He didn't write to pour from the cup, kamash kasa ba'asof. Like right at the end, shlokas minakos l'achar you pour from the cup after Havdalah. This is what it means. Don't pour so much over the rims. That when you're filling up the cup, it'll spill on the ground. Because that's degrading. Fill it fully, to the rim. When you begin the bracha, you move it down a little bit. Matter of course, some will spill. But you be careful not to spill a lot. Which will be damage for the cup, not in the sense of pogum, which we normally speak about, but it's not appropriate for the mitzvah. That you should not spill that much. It looks like it's not helpful. Avamat, a dynamole, but it's just a little bit. It's still mole. Because nobody can get precisely to the rim. Now, when she wrote that the cup should not be damaged, this is what it means to say, you should pour away that it won't be damaged. Be careful not to pour too much. And that's the appropriate way to do it. So what does it mean before you finish Bar Priyagofen? That's if you begin from the bracha like we do in shul. Yeshua see, but we start with the psukim which precede that. Yishmoch us, you can spill then. Peter covered us, and the main point is ad the rabbah. On the contrary, don't pour it liberally. Because it's literally full. When you take it in his hands, he asks Abdullah, and because Abdullah and the hand will move a little bit, it'll spill on its own. So Kasav, the end he wrote, to spill from the cup after Abdullah, meaning after he drinks. And then we pour something a bit on the table in a vessel, and we use it to extinguish the candle, and wash the eyes, because it's healing. Also, he says here, because of the preciousness of the mitzvah. The brackets, Mordechai Reshim of each of us, Lakos Havdalah V'Shoisim. People put water into the cup of Havdalah and drink, and whatever's left, Rochtzim, put him used to wash their faces. Mitzvah. To show how precious the mitzvah is, the Shorai Mitzvah Maknis Sopranos, and the remnants of a mitzvah, such as the wine which you use in order to wash your face, it impedes bad things from happening. Yud base, aim of the pas, you don't make Havdalah bread. The dafka kiddush tzarich makom suda, because kiddush is needs to be makom suda. Shapim kiddush alav, you can make the kiddush on the bread, which is your suda of ochel suda, eat the meal. We shaykh the kiddush, and that's connected to the kiddush. Havdalah ain't no in pas, but does not do with bread. And then carefully you can't use bread for Havdalah. You must use a beverage. Yontav Shchayis Motzei Shabbos, when Yontav comes out of Motzei Shabbos, Yesh Bo Kiddush, Shunemar Al Pas. In that case, if you're saying Kiddush on bread, Yesh, or some say Sha'agava Kiddush, since you're saying the Kiddush on bread, therefore Mavdin Gam Kedulav on Passant, you could also make Havdalah on it. Yesh, when the slow say, Shesh Tov, a Kiddush Mavdalah Shneim Al Sheikhor, Shar Mashke, even though normally bread is preferable to other alcoholic beverages, but in that case, you can use it's better to use other alcoholic beverages on account of the Havdalah. The main halach is like the first part that since you're using the bread for kiddush, you can piggyback Havdalah on it. Since you have to eat, Havdalah also connects to the bread. And it's no better than kiddush, which we change the bread. So to the Havdalah in that case. The Mishnah says, nevertheless, you should look for wine. Even if bread is beloved upon you more than wine. Because many Rishonim know that the Havdalah on bread doesn't work, even Motzei Shabbos, which is the Yontif. If you find wine, then bread is better than other alcoholic beverages. You gimel. Vim Elohai, if he doesn't have wine, Mikach al Sheikhar, you make kiddush on alcoholic beverages, or Shar Mashkim. I'm assuming he means, it says Mikachim. We're actually talking about Havdalah here. So I think it's probably a typo. So it should be probably Mavdil Neshech, or you can make Havdalah beer, Al-Shar, Mashkin, and other beverages, where the wine of the country, meaning that they're a main beverage. Despite not water. Even though most of the drinking in that country is of water. There's no significance in water. We don't make Havdalah on water. Nearly that feel mind to cunning. He says even water which has been upgraded. It's later like May seltzer water, or lemonade, or Vash, Litam, or water with honey, or Sharmin Pear, or other fruits. We come nevertheless self-mine. Final analysis, it's water. If they have can't make Havdalah on this. Iron Rage basically down. He has nothing else to drink. Because for alcoholic, let's say of that sort, Mavdil alcoholic, you can use milk. The Mishnah Berurah says you should not use, I'm not sure if it's cholav or chalev, but it says cholav and shemen. People don't normally drink milk and oil, or maybe it means fats and oil. If he does, and he says that if you don't have a beverage which is Chemer Medina, then you don't have a beverage at all. Although, well, let's see further. So he says, oh, Arukh HaShulchan says not just milk, but tamo soak. Hi, tea is mostly water, but ain't stam mayim. Came with shimavushal. Since it's been cooked to make the tea, it's not no considered water. Which means the interesting question of Coca-Cola and such like. Which many of a lot of poskim are mako. But it's just water. It's water which has undergone a process of becoming Coca-Cola. Is that a real process or not? Okay, because I've been around more, the Nogel of the Motzei Pesach al Shechar. Motzei Pesach people use beer, velo al yain, not wine, mishum v'chav love, because the beer is chametz and therefore particularly beloved of him at that time. The wrote I was there on this the dafka makom to have a shechem b'chem medina, only where beer is the wine of the country. But Mashkenaz also, but not in Germany. Since there's a lot of wine there, people don't use beer as chemer medina. That's the Mishnah also agrees that you can't use beer there. It doesn't work the fact that it's chavim and you can't make Abdullah on it. But Namalashla Mashma came. The Arukh HaShulchan says that doesn't seem to be the case. Language doesn't seem to go that way. Okay, Meir Pei Motzei Pesach Mishum Chibuf. Yeah, if it's because of Chemer Medina, you don't have to come out to the fact that Motzei Pesach it's Chavi. It's mutter anyway. Therefore, he says, even in Germany where wine flow freely. But they also are accustomed to beer. The beer is also the wine of the country. The whole year, you're mechuyev to be mavdil wine, since wine flows freely in that country. Which is also Chem Medina, but because then you can use it, that Motzei Pesach. You don't have wine or alcoholic beverages, Lushar Mashkin, or other beverages left over. Yes, some people say Shemuta Lechol, he can really eat anyway. Yismachav Doshe B'Tvil, Klein Davole mentioning Davi. Yomar Mavdi Below Koser, say Mavdi without a cup, below Bracha, without a bracha. The bracha ain't out of kos, because bracha requires a cup. El below bracha, so say without a bracha, and she's by so Simon raised like this as it's going to come up. He's already referenced that many times. Practice he says, say by the Magen Avram, but without looking by Avram's side, it's not intelligible for us. And then he says, and this really seems to be the way our minds inclined. Let me sign that. Why should you fast? Because you have no cup. You can't call him kos if he doesn't have a cup the whole week. Lo yachal shouldn't eat. But God the matzina by meimer shlo yachal. You know, you found meimer did not eat. Zamidas chasidus. That's a special madrega. Not something for normal people. The lo medina, not the strict level of. Yes, and some say the vadim lo yellow al the marcha balayla. Some say at least if he knows he's not going to have anything until tomorrow night. Lo no mar lo lisans kol. I'm not going to tell the fast the entire day. And then pesha mochi elokos. If he thinks tomorrow's at a cup, aser lo lechol yom al machshav. Then he shouldn't eat tonight until tomorrow when he makes Abdullah. Mishnah Berurah says that you're not even mechuyev to wait more than till chatzos on Sunday. Mishnah Berurah says that, but you should machmir like this svala and wait at least till chatzos, unless you're a weak person whom it's difficult to fast even the part of the day, and then you can rely on the opinion that you can eat even after just a plain verbal havdalah. He says, goes on, even though it's a mitzvah b'lav malka, there's no havdalah, there's no mitzvah. Mitzvah b'lav malka is dafka after havdalah. Those who hold that, like we said before, that Yonta can't make Yonta Motzei Shabbos can't make Havdalah on bread. Veil Shemashka is no beverage. Lo Yachal L'Mochar can't eat till tomorrow. Even Tzapa Shelo Kos Mochar, he's going to have a cup tomorrow. But I've got the mitzvah Chobal Hab Yonta V'Hayitz mitzvah to eat at night on Yonta. Because nevertheless came in the Lohiv Dil Sitzid into Havdalah. Has no mitzvah. There is no mitzvah. It's amazing fish. On the Kfar Pasach Shtam Dikla Din does Mavdil Pas, but he already said in that case you do make Havdalah on bread. Tezvav, b'inyan zeh, l'man kinyan zeh, masvi the ein berachas hamaz below kos. Similarly, according to Pina holds that you have to have a kos of birchas hamazon. Vein lo kos echad, you only have one cup. And yavdil love, you make abdolin. Yol yelo kos of birchas hamazon. You won't have a cup for benching. Mitzap shemach yelo kos. If he thinks tomorrow I'll have another cup, yavdil ato. You should make abdolin now. For lo yochad mochar, he won't eat birchas hamazon. Won't eat bread and make birchas hamazon until tomorrow. Mishbur argues. She says, he says, Abraham says that birchas hamazon, which is not really mandatory. For that, you don't have to prevent yourself from eating. Back to Arukh HaShulchan, if he doesn't anticipate having a cup tomorrow either, Mutav Shol comes out his best to eat before Havdalah. Makes eat before Havdalah. And then use the cup for benching. And then drink it after Havdalah. Now, something ain't birchas hamazon do not kos, but according to us who hold that benching really does not require a cup, you have the kos, make the Havdalah in the cup. V'yochlan eat v'var birchas hamazon lo kos and bench without a cup. Chosam actually lo hakos revius b'tzimtzum. This only be as precisely a revius. For Muslims, Korean, it's already max in dilution. You'll see my mind add a little water, you calculate, so it's going to ruin it. The locator, because otherwise, if shall have the you can make a dollar, drink a little bit. But we'll see for the mind, add water, to make it up for revius for after benching. Then bench on it. After drink a cheekful. But if it's not possible, let's not be little bit. You get to even with drinking less than that. Mishmur argues. Mishmur says you always need below lukmav. It's a big kiddush of the Arukh HaShulchan, and then you don't need a cheekful. Very big kiddush. But he has mentioned before. The Loshach means a cloud, and we're giving cloud because it's Muslim. Anyway, it's not relevant to us because we don't bench halakos. Tezayin. Mishiyain Yodam Masegas Liknos Yain the Kiddush Havdalah. Doesn't have wine for both Kiddush and Havdalah. You can have Havdalah. Should use the wine for Havdalah. The Kiddush of Shabbat Pas. You can make Kiddush on bread. Kiddush Yom Love Shabbat Pas, and even the Kiddush during the daytime, it's not possible to use bread. Come Havdalah Klem, but nevertheless Havdalah has preference. Now, Bay Poskim with the rice, because Bay Poskim is the rice part in the midst of Kiddush, which is how Rabbi Shimon said. The Kiddush Yom Chayam Rabban, every Kiddush of during the day is the Rabban. Furthermore, the Gam Kiddush Hayom B'Docha Gadol Yod Seva Pas. Also, Kiddush Day, if you're really up the creek without a paddle, you can use bread. Which is not the same Reish Beites. Shem Bavdol is supposed to have where you can never use bread unless perhaps on Shabbos, would say Shabbos, which comes out of the night of Yontif. Mishnah writes, some say the Kiddush HaLaila is the Kiddush HaNight is more important than Havdalah, and even according to Shulchan Aruch, if he has beer for Havdalah, it's best to make Kiddush on wine, because everybody agrees you can make Havdalah on beer. And Kiddush on beer or other alcoholic beverages, many poskim do not allow. Also, and even on bread, Rabbeinu Tam is machmir. Therefore, even on in the morning, it's best to make Kiddush on wine if he has beer for Havdalah. Okay, so as long as beer for Havdalah, he uses the wine on Shabbos for those Kiddushim. Back to Arukh HaShulchan. Many of them are saying there's no Shem in their Chanukah behind. So if you have the choice between oil for Chanukah, wine for Havdalah, and their Chanukah Kodim, Chanukah candles come first. After you meet the Rabbanim, the Chanukah is ready, Mishum, Pirsum, these are the publicized miracle. Sabna Simon Reish Ayin Aleph, the Pas Lechol, Kol Mechad Dvorim, bread to eat, that's above and beyond everything else in order to have a proper Shabbos.